going to dive into how relationships can impact your overall results and some really important key things to look at when we're talking about making sure you're making the right decisions for your health. Now you might think, well, normally you talk about hormones and talk about all these things related to getting your body to improve your metabolism, all this stuff. Why are we talking about relationships? Because this is really key and important. Because the number of women, the thousands of women that I've worked with in their hormones and working with getting their bodies healthier, getting their systems functioning better, getting them feeling better. Majority of them, 90% of them, have had issues in some area of their relationships. And it's really important that we recognize this and acknowledge it as we work through this. Because when you start to shift and change how you feel about yourself, when you start to really dive into how you approach your own health, how you care for yourself, the boundaries that you have with you, it's going to change the boundaries that you have with other people. It's going to change how you approach your relationships. I'll give you an example here. And this is something that is related to the relationship you have with your spouse. So I'm Dr. Beth I am Dr. Beth Westie, women's health and hormone expert. I am the author of the books, The Female Fat Solution and The Female Menopause Solution. These are on Amazon. I'm also host of the podcast, The Female Health Solution, so you can subscribe there as well as subscribe to my YouTube or follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and TikTok. That too now. So when we look at this, one of the things that I always like to share real life examples. And this is something that happened several months ago when I was starting a group and working with some women that were coming into the group. The thing that sticks out in my mind about this is that my two intake calls for these gals happened on the same day. Just happened on the same day that I did my very first call with, these two ladies. And the first call was this gal who right away on the phone, she knew that one of the biggest stressors in her life was her relationship with her spouse, right? You might have, issues with your relationship with your family, with friends, maybe work, things like that. Yes, absolutely. But this gal, she's like, it's my husband. My marriage has not been good for several years. I know there's issues, all this stuff. She goes, I also know that I have hormone issues. I am exhausted. I have brain fog. I don't feel like myself. So she goes, this is really my last ditch effort to work on my marriage is by working on myself. I'm going to get myself healthier and then make a decision on my marriage because she goes, I know it's not good. I know it's not good. It's him. He's the problem. And I was like, okay, I hear this. I hear this. This is not an isolated incident. I hear this all the time. And then literally the same day, another jumpstart call with somebody else. Gal said the same thing. Now the first gal, she was in her early 50s, had been married for 20 some years, that type of a thing. The other gal, the next gal that I chatted with, she was in her mid 40s and had been married about 12 years. So not quite as long of a marriage and a little bit younger, but she said the same thing. She had a lot of the same health issues coming in. I'm exhausted. I'm worn out, right? I have a lot of stress in my life, this and this, but my marriage is one of my main stressors. And I don't know that I'm going to continue with my marriage. I'm going to do this to work on myself and work on my health, and then we'll see how my marriage goes. And this is the thing, that with both of these women, they knew what their stressors were. They knew what was causing them more problems, but they also knew that their own health was not where they wanted it to be. To say that, is it fair to say it's all him, he's the problem? I mean, honestly, both of them said that to me at the very beginning. He's the problem. It's him. And I was like, okay. We also recognize that there's some stress issues and things like that with you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to work on you. We're going to focus on you. We're going to get you functioning better, get you feeling better, get you sleeping, get you more energy, all that stuff. And by the end of our time working together, both of these women had amazing outcomes. Both of them had incredible changes in their energy, way better. Sleep was way better. They both still had stress in their lives from their jobs. That didn't change necessarily, but they were able to handle that stress much better, right? All of these things. But the biggest difference too was that their relationships made a turn. One gal, the second gal that I was telling you about, her relationship, she said, yep, I've actually filed for divorce. It is going to be mostly amicable. We knew that this was, a possibility of this. She's like, this was just waiting to happen. And she goes, I've gotten my own place now. I just moved. I'm really excited. And she goes, I feel so much more clear-headed about the decisions I'm making for my life now because I really feel like myself. I feel more like myself now than I have in years. And I know I'm making the right decision for me moving forward. And I said, that's amazing that you've been able to do that. Absolutely. The first gal, at the end of our time working together, she said, I have to tell you, I feel better. I feel more amazing. I don't have that brain fog, all that stuff. And she goes, my marriage is better than it's been in years because I finally feel like myself again. She goes, there was an issue here in my relationship. It was causing me a lot of stress, but it wasn't just him. She goes, it was me. I wasn't me. So our relationship was not what it normally had been for 20 some years. Your relationships, your stress, everything that you have to encounter throughout the day, it matters. Your health matters. Your health and how you feel in your body, in the meat suit that you live in, impacts your health, impacts your relationships, and impacts so many things. So if you've been struggling in a lot of these areas and thought, gosh, I really need to get healthier, I really need to work on these things, yes. But also recognizing that this work can go deeper than just saying, oh, eat this, clean and healthy diet. Okay. And that's not bad. That's not wrong. It's just incomplete in terms of what women have to work with in their entire lives. So that's the thing that I wanted to spend some time on today and talk about. Please let me know if you have any questions. You can always go and comment below this video. And if you want me to talk more about these, types of situations, let me know. But I also have shared more stories on my podcast, The Female Health Solution. So that's what I got for you today. Let me know if there's anything else, and I will see you guys later.